As we are in the middle of our project to expand our solar panels on our off-grid homestead, we pick up where we left off the last time. And the last time we talked about this Mini X being down because it had a problem with leaking hydraulic fluid and it had to be put down so that the repairman could come. Well, he came out that same evening and then right back in the morning. So he quickly got the Mini X back up and running. So by the next morning at the crack of dawn, we were out there doing the measurements and evaluating what we needed to do. He started without me. Can you believe it? I already pushed one tree down, or two, my goodness. Hooey. You snooze, you lose on this deal, huh? He literally took 2 or 3 trees out. Our nice maple tree that was here yesterday is now lying down. This big one, this big oak tree, has got to go. We love them, but they are shading these terraces, and ultimately they're gonna get too big. So the trees are gently swaying today. How about we say the trees are violently swaying? It's a tall tree. We are into at least our 3rd day with this machine, clearing the land, trying to make a flat space so that we can put more solar panels and that they can catch the sun in the right way. So some trees had to come down, we had to move a lot of dirt, and we've been working on this over the past little while. Nothing seems to go quite easy for us, and so it's always just trying to figure out which way is going to work out best with the least amount of money and the least amount of time. It usually expands in both areas. We have the Mini X up and running. It's back into business. We have opened up down here. It's completely different with those 4 trees gone. Well, Greg decided to hop in a mini excavator and he's plucking a few of those large boulders to put in a cut that he's going to be making. He wanted to have it a certain way, so he's going to go ahead and fix that. So let's go ahead and check what he's doing from the bottom up. As he's cutting into this bank here, he's going to line it with these rocks that he's plucking out. Sometimes we call in the experts, but at the end of the day, we know how we want things to be, and my husband has the talent to do things, and then they turn out just like he likes them. And it's kind of wild to see all these colors on the ground of those beautiful trees. Somewhere there's an orange one too, but I'm not seeing it right now. Kind of mixed up in there. And here's some right here. Very pretty. And as the sun comes up, my goodness, layer after layer is coming off. I started out with a sweater, a shirt, and a hoodie, and now I'm down to the shirt and It's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. It already is a beautiful day. Sunny skies, what beautiful temperatures we have. I think he's grabbing that really big one. No, he's grabbing a medium-sized one. Plop. This, my friend, is why you let your children play with blocks and Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys when they are little, because in real life it actually comes in quite handy. This is more like it. This is what Greg was intending, and I'm glad to see that he is able to make this like he wants it. It takes more time and patience and skill, but ultimately this will be a nice looking retaining wall and actually kind of look attractive too, rather than tumble down and tumble together. Oh, that was a big one. I'm really proud of the work that Greg has done. He took his vision and he's making it happen. The area where they had the steep cut, he wanted to have big rocks that would be a retaining wall on that side, but unfortunately I think those rocks got pushed down the hill. So we have a small retaining wall, but it does make it look a lot nicer. And now he's smoothing out that grade so that we can put solar panels and do whatever we're gonna do with that. It's just nice to see it coming together. You probably cannot see them flying through the air, but they still are flying through the air in droves, and that is ladybugs. Now, I didn't think that ladybugs could be a real pain, but they are. One just bit me. Our operator yesterday told me that they were biting him, and I thought, wow, that's crazy. Never heard of that, but goodness, they bite hard too. No fun. Our friendly young buck even came for a little visit while we were working. Maybe it's living on a homestead, maybe it's living off-grid, or maybe it's just us. But it seems like every time we turn around, there's a new opportunity for something to do and a new way to do it. So we're putting this mulch along the driving beds and walking beds to kind of fill in the mud, which we have been experiencing a lot of. Now, Adam came up. This is phase 2 or 3 of this project. He came up with the posts. They are quite heavy, so we were glad to be able to use the dump trailer. And then he brought other supplies with him, and then on to leveling it, getting the holes in, for which we had to rent whatever those things are called, augers. Far be it for us to just rent one type of machine. The auger was great except for when they hit really big rocks, and then they had to rent a jackhammer. So in order to power the jackhammer, we had to move the generator up the hill. So that's what they're doing now. It's just one thing after another. We used the drop cord for the generator, and then the jackhammer worked pretty well, although we still had to use some ingenuitive methods with like a hammer drill and things. We just have so much rock. It's just crazy to think about how much rock we have on this property. I guess my piece of advice would be, if you're going to get a piece of the mountain, make sure there's not too many rocks. But I think the reason why we got our land at a lower price, because it was the side of a hill. It seems like nothing happens easily on this homestead. Everything is a challenge. That's why we're having to do all these things to make it work, to make it flat, to get holes. Just, it takes a lot to do the simplest things, but we will get there. We'll get there someday. It just takes some work. As you can see, we have a lot of OSHA inspectors, the 4-footed variety. Sometimes, and especially here lately, I scratch my head as I look at our sons who have all these talents, and I'm like, where did they learn these things? We provided them with lots of work to do, but they learned the skills that they've needed, and they've adapted far beyond what we could have ever taught them. I just am in awe in so many ways. Even though it took some doing and several different machines, we did get the holes dug, and some of them have to be adjusted a little bit, but now it's the next phase, and that's bringing the posts up, and these are going to be the support posts for the solar panel racks. So these are the vertical posts, and they are 6x6s. Some of them are 12 feet long, some of them are 16 feet. Some of them will be cut and adjusted. We have the concrete coming up the hill, just all the supplies, getting everyone's ducks in a row so that we can get this project, the next phase, done. Misty mornings, bright skies, cloudy skies. We've really had the mix. We've had beautiful weather, like shirt sleeve weather, and then we've had cold weather coming in with nasty rain. So we were mostly fortunate to have very good weather. We did have quite a rainstorm in the middle, which created lots of mud to work around. So we had to put it on hold for a couple of days just because of the mud and so difficult to work in it. But we eventually were able to come back to it. Having that mulch spread and soaking up into the mud did help a little bit. And so finally our inspector said that we're good to go. She gave us the stamp of approval, and she's here just watching over everything to make sure we're doing it all right. Today on our off-grid homestead, we are continuing the progress on making holes, putting up posts, expanding our solar system. We have our solar panels here that we've been using for the past several years, but we've felt the need to expand. And so we have the jackhammer being used today to make more holes. Here behind me, we see the pressure-treated posts that we're putting in, some down here that are not quite as long. I think we're putting 12-foot ones in, and these are 16-footers in case we need them for something else. But Adam's using the jackhammer. Let's go take a look. Here on the back side, we have one long row of solar panels that's going to be going in. And in front of that, we're going to have another shorter row, then a longer row, and so on until we get the amount done that we are putting in. I think we're putting in 40 more solar panels that are not quite as big as the ones we currently have. So we're just going to keep on trucking along and see what progress we can get made today. Little by little, inch by inch. By the yard, it's hard. By the inch, what a cinch. That's pretty much how it is. A little bit here, a little bit there, backwards, forwards, but mostly making good progress. This big rock was just too stubborn to break through. Not the jackhammer, not the auger. So Adam is using this hammer drill to smooth it out a little bit, and we're just going to have to clamp it down to the rock. Oh, Tubby, 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 Tubby. He is such a mess. Chasing his tail, he doesn't realize he has a very small balancing point. He's trying to get it. I can't stress this enough, though. You give your kids the tools and you give them the basics, and you cannot in your whole lifetime teach them everything that they would need to know. There were plenty of gaps in our homeschool curriculum. I mean, there's gaps in every curriculum, and I worried about them just like all parents do. But, they fill in their own gaps, and that's kind of the neat thing. When they find an interest that suits them, then they will learn those things as much or as little as they need for life, and they'll go way beyond what I could have ever taught them as a homeschool teacher. So it's just kind of an encouragement to me, an encouragement to all homeschoolers or anyone who has kids not even home educated. You can teach your kids a lot, but they will learn a lot in life that has nothing to do with you. So it's a little bit humbling and a little bit freeing to know that the gaps will be filled in as they are needed, and that's just an encouragement to me. So they got a lot of these posts in. I think they got all the posts in except for one, which needs to go in on a pad of concrete that they poured, just a little one for the one short post. But it was really coming together. This was the day before Thanksgiving, getting all these posts in and letting them have time for the concrete to set and get firmed up. And then they came back this week and have been working on doing some of the horizontal pieces of wood that are going to go across. So it is taking shape. We did have Austin come out and he helped, and we had another young man come and help. So with all these hands, the work is getting done, and it's neat to see how different people have different talents that they can fill in and work together with to get the job done. Progress is coming along. We'll keep you posted on future updates, but this brings us up to speed for where we are today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe, be well, and may God bless you.